Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Skipper Surf Review. I'm driving down to Rockaway to meet up with Mike Reinhardt and test his Soloshot 3 Plus replacement. So after the first episode about Soloshot 3 Plus, the company contacted him and offered him replacement right away, and a couple days ago he received it. So he said that it's not freezing and it doesn't freely spin, so which is a good sign, and I hope it works and it tracks and records, and maybe I'll order it for myself. We'll see today if it works. I'm bringing my laptop, we're gonna check the footage, and you know, I hope it works. So stay tuned guys.
What's up, Skip?
You saved it?
So, how are you?
Here it is.
I can't believe.
So if you want, you can go down the line and
So,
Wow.
this is
it
the
opens up.
replacement.
You go.
Nice.
Select
Alright,
all
so
of
what's...
them on there.
Fingers crossed. I
Yeah,
mean,
fingers crossed.
I really wanna
Yeah,
this thing to work.
Case.
By the way, just be honest. Did you drop it before coming here?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Just for the record.
And the first one, people were accusing me of dropping it too.
They did.
Absolutely not. I know this product and how delicate these sort of things can be. I literally received it by hand from the UPS guy and was nothing but cautious. I even took pictures of the box. Whenever I usually do it for any kind of high valuable item, I take pictures of the box to make sure that it looks sound. You know, because if it looks beat up or whatever, and I have to make a claim against the shipper or whatever, it's like, well, obviously somebody dropped it. You know, so I did that beforehand, and it was mint. You know, when I opened it, everything was mint. You saw me. You know, like that was the first I was using it. I'll admit when I was wrong, and if I messed up, but absolutely not. I did not drop it. So
Awesome.
I spoke to Barry at Soloshot, and we have come to the conclusion that it must have been a shipping error, that UPS could have really manhandled it. And I am, you know, tending to believe him now, because they claim to test every product before they send it out. So it's not like they're just manufacturing these and then boxing them and sending them. As far as I understand it, what he's saying is that they open it up, they take it, they test it, and if it's good, they'll ship it out. So if that is the case, and it was good, and if, you know, you believe him, then the only thing that could have happened was a shipping error, you know? Now, my personal belief is that if they're, you know, if this is that delicate, then maybe the shipping methods have to improve in terms of like how well it's protected. But I mean, this case is amazing. You know what I mean? So it must have got tossed hard if it was to get still rattled in this case, because as you can see, it's nice and heavy. It's got a ton of protection on it, and there's straps here to keep it, you know, secure in there. So really, it's hard.
Very thick case.
It's super thick. So like, it would have to have gotten really tossed, I think, for it to get broken like that. But regardless, though, they sent me a replacement to show me that it works. So let's dive in. Okay, couple things. One of the things we were like wondering about last time was like, can you even get this off? You know? Well, you can, and actually it's easier and better than the former system. The former system, you had to use that hook, you know, to open it up.
Yeah.
But this you don't. You literally just need to hold this part of the tripod and turn, and it comes right off.
Do you mind to try it?
Yeah, let's do it. So the one thing about that is that, you know, I'm not super tech camera savvy, and I don't think most people who are using this would be, which is the point of, you know, getting something so cool like this. The problem was as we went over the instructions. There's just nothing here, you know, and there's no content yet online to say like, hey, this is how you use this, what you do. So you'll have to forgive me for not being able to do that. But again, Barry said they are coming out with some better instructions, especially videos, and I think those instruction videos will clear that all up. And he'll talk about other few things, like for example, he said you don't need to dock the tag anymore while calibrating. You can just like put it on and go, which is supposed to be one of the big features of this update. You know, so let's you know what, I'm just gonna power it off so that we can start from scratch here. And the tag, it comes on real quick, shuts down just like normal, you know, 3, 2, 1. All right, that powered off quick, which is nice. So let's take it off just like that.
Wow.
Nice and easy, good weight. And then I'm kind of right now using my thigh to keep that part of the tripod in place while I do it. Once it's mostly on, you just give it a quick tighten with your hand holding this and turn there, and you're good. Speaking of the tripod, it is a much better tripod than the last one. I mean, the last one was actually pretty good for what this is, you know? You don't need a super expensive tripod, but this one is nice. It's got 3 parts where you can extend the legs, whereas the other one just had 2. Honestly, I don't really see the need for our purposes, but it must be good for some other sport or use, I don't know. The only thing I can say that makes this better for us is you could probably bury the legs deeper in the sand if it's windy or if you're concerned about it tipping over. But I've never had an issue with that, you know, so just a nice feature, I guess. All right, let's turn it on. You have to just hold it for a second. I've made the mistake of just clicking it, but that doesn't turn it on. You just hold it for like 2 seconds and then it comes on. It takes the normal amount of time to turn on. I think maybe like a second or 2 faster than the regular Soloshot, but it's still pretty fast. Yeah. It'll initialize sensors, that happens quickly. If the camera was like pointed down, there you go, it just popped up to just figure it out. Watch how fast the tag comes on though. Just press that and then it's on. That happened real quick. And then, all right, so then the other thing is that the setting that we were confused about, the ask to track or the old setting, which is manually track, right? Or not track, sorry. Calibrate with the tag. You don't have to do that anymore because with the new setting, it should be automatically connected. Now it says poor GPS because we're inside right now. But you can see here, it's automatically connected to this tag. So that's one less step that I have to do. I'll probably every time make sure that it's on, you know, but I don't think you will need to because it should automatically connect. All right, cool. So the settings are mostly the same. The main issue with my unit last time was that the motor would allow the camera to go up and down, you know, north-south, but it wouldn't go left and right, east-west. So we're gonna test that right now by putting in manual control. Now, I've tested this before, and it does work.
Did you record?
What's that?
Did you record manual or you haven't checked?
You know, I haven't checked. I have my computer and we can test that out right now. So, all right, here's the big moment of truth, right? You see the camera is now moving nicely left to right. You gotta hold it for like a second, lets it pick up on it, and then you'll see the camera is. That's just my finger being a little bit dry right now. No problem, up and down. Let's go for the zoom. Sometimes you just gotta click it again. It's just not really picking up your finger, but
It does zoom out.
but it does it. Yeah, it's no problem. So yeah, there we go. We got a zoom. Let's try going live. So live. So, you know, I'm not sure what live is versus record. Do you just press this to record?
No, I'll go. Oh, did you go to manual? Yeah.
This is manual, right?
This.
So, all right. So this is an issue. I don't know if it's recording or not right now. You know, like
It's supposed to go red.
right. It does it, and then it goes.
Hold on, what?
It's like a bunch of like, it's like a lot of like college.
The manual.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is the issue I was having with the last one. I was pressing this, and I thought I was doing it wrong, and it was just recording 0-second videos.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's just like a settings issue.
I mean, on
this.
the old one, you just press it and it just records right away. Maybe that's not meant to be.
I just have no clue why this manual control is not working. Oh, wow. Double tap. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So, see, that's the thing is like,
Double tap.
I just double tapped and that worked.
Let's stop.
Stop, try again. Double tap.
Who knew?
That's the thing is that like, it obviously works, right?
Yeah.
But there was just nothing to tell me how to do that, you know? So, I'm super glad to see that works. And it's making me a bit more and more confident with this, you know, unit. Now again, the last one I was sent, there was some glitches in the startup, in terms of like me logging in with my username and password. Like I had to find a workaround in order to get past that stage. There was a glitch with recognizing the tag. And I thought that this was a glitch as well with manual control. Now, so again, it turns out this is not a glitch. There's just no instructions there. The other two were a glitch, but when I spoke to Soloshot, they assured me that they were having an issue with their servers that day, which for any tech company, I'm sure happens. It just so happened to be on the same day that I was experiencing all the other issues, you know? So a bad series of events coming together, right? This one though, no glitches so far, none. And that makes me really glad to see that the manual control works. As far as everything else here, everything seems good. Let's pop out the SD card and see if we have any footage.
Yeah.
And if so, we'll feel good and go down to the beach and see if it tracks.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, moment of truth. All right, so they actually give you their new specific Soloshot micro SD card.
Wow.
I would always use the like SanDisk version of this. Same thing, you know, same processing speed, 128 gigs of storage, and that most of the time worked really well with all the other Soloshots. But I have had the issue, and they know of the issue. Sometimes the card had writing, you know, issues with the base, like not being able to actually record the stuff. Most of the time it was because you weren't using the right SD card, you know? You just had to get the right SD card and it was totally fine. So I think they recognized that. People were getting the wrong SD card and complaining about that, and so they just made their own SD card, and it comes with the unit, so that there's no more reason to be confused. All right, so we've got some manual here. Let's go to this one. All right, so look, this is what was happening. We were just clicking it once, and it was these 0-second videos, and so that's why we were so confused. You know, another one right here, 0 second, 0 second, because we were only pressing the camera record once. Now let's see what happens when we press it twice. Look at that. So manual record works just fine. You can see Kook Mike in the background having his coffee. But yeah, good quality camera.
Yeah, that's great.
Records just fine. For those of you watching and trying to use manual control, double tap that record button, because that's what's going to get it to record. And yeah, totally fine.
Sick. Wow, that's amazing.
Awesome.
Great.
I don't typically use manual control. I mean, I'm sure for some people it's good. For surfing, probably not that great because you're just moving around so much. The only thing I could see it being helpful with surfing or useful is if you forget your tag and you're just like, shit, I forgot my tag at home. What am I gonna do? Manual control. Just set it up like down the beach so you're facing an angle into the direction you're coming. So if it's a wave to the left, you know, face into the left at an angle so that you can really capture the field of view without having to let the camera track back and forth. And then you can just zoom in and crop on, you know, Final Cut or whatever you use to edit videos. But obviously what we're hoping to do is get some tracking videos. So let's get suited up and give it a shot.
Let's go.
Woo! All right, so back at the beach. This time with a Soloshot that so far seems to be working pretty dang well from our tests at my house and also at my shop on the block. Let's see if it tracks well and if it gets some clips of me in this amazing sloppy 1 to 2 foot surf today. Little snug. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna power on the tag. Again, it starts up real fast and I think you get signal really quickly, but it's always the best thing so it gets that GPS. Last time this thing turned on faster than I could get the tripod set up. So this time around, we're gonna set the tripod up first. You know, just as I was saying before in the shop, I was like, you know, it's great that this tripod is now longer. You know, you don't need it to be longer for surfing, but it's actually windy down here now, so could be helpful because we bury this nice and deep. And for those of you who don't know, they've always had this, but it is helpful. There's a little level on here so you can see pretty much if your camera is set up evenly. But honestly, the best way to do it is just pop down on a knee, take a look, and you can see that I need to push that into sand a little more. Or I could go like this. Done. All right, let's power it on. Remember to hold it until that screen comes on. And take that lens cap off. Again, for those of you who've never done it, always want to bury your legs. Again, I've never really had an issue with it tipping over, but it doesn't hurt. It takes 2 seconds while it's warming up. And you're good.
All right, it's up.
Okay, it's up. And as we talked about before, this tag should already be tracking. And yep, it is. And GPS signal looks good. So we'll go back to the track in just a second. So apparently you do not need to dock it to start calibrating and tracking. So we're going to try it without that and see if that works. And I'm going to put the tag in my armband first before I start calibrating. Now, another little tip is that sometimes, you know, despite the fact that there's a grip on this armband, people will find that the armband will slide down when you're surfing. If you're surfing small waves or, you know, mellow waves, it's not an issue, but if you really are out in bigger surf, you might want to be a little more cautious. Now, I know you, Yuri, will put the tag under the wetsuit sleeve, and that works for you, right?
Yeah.
I've had some success with that. I've also had a couple times where it didn't quite track well, probably because of signal issues being on the wetsuit. I have put Velcro on my wetsuit before and Velcro on here, and that helps. But honestly, one of the best things I've done is I will just loop it through here on that wetsuit string that you use to tighten up your hood or your suit. And then got a nice Velcro on that. Then I will just take this, shove it under here. Now it's really secure. I'm not worried about losing it because it's actually attached to something. It's not really going anywhere because this is nice and tight. and it's still exposed, not like under the suit. So there's probably a bunch of other tricks and ways to do it, but I find that this one worked pretty well. All right, so let's give it a shot. Let's put it on track. All right, we're gonna go to track, change that to water. Again, this is the first time I'm doing it, so calibrating. Yeah! Woo!
Success?
So,
Already?
it said success, huh? Let's see.
Oh my god, that's awesome. It's working. I mean, like, tracking well.
That seemed to be tracking really well, and again, the best thing was that I didn't have to dock the tag. There was no issue with me being so close to the Soloshot 2. It didn't freak out. It found me eventually when I moved away. And that calibration was so fast. I mean, for those of you who have had Soloshots since the first one, like myself, you can remember that Soloshots 1 and 2, I mean, it was literally 10 minutes of tracking, or calibrating, I'm sorry. And if it didn't calibrate for one reason or another, we had to do it all again. This was literally, we'll go back and time it on the clip, but that was probably 5 to 10 seconds of calibrating. So let's see how it does.
How do you feel?
Honestly, I feel good about this. You know, I'm excited to get back to my computer and see how it recorded, if recorded, but it seemed to be tracking me just fine. I kept looking back at the camera and I would see head on that green dot blinking, which means, fingers crossed, it was recording as well. And you know, shitty waves, so it's hard to really put it to the test, but I did try to paddle in both directions, make sure it tracked both ways. I also tried a few different angles, whether or not it looked like I was doing that. I did try to surf from straight out front, because when you ride a wave left to right, when you're directly in front of the Soloshot, that requires it to track the most and to, you know, track the best, right? So it looked like it was going well, though. I would look and follow the camera and see it always on me. And then I also tried to go down the beach, you know, surf into the camera, surf away from the camera as well from a different angle. And every time I look back, it seemed to be good. You know, I was throwing up my hand to Yuri, he's giving me the thumbs up. So I'm eager. I'm really happy that they sent me one that seems to be working really well. I'm really hopeful that the one I got in the past was just a dud. That happens. But, you know, I'm pretty confident that we're going to see some good footage there. And can't wait to take a look.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we made it back. Here it is, all in one piece. We're gonna pull out the SD card and see if it tracked and if it recorded. The one thing we forgot to do was format the card before we started recording on the beach, because as you will maybe remember, we did a manual record here. That shouldn't matter though. There was plenty of space on the disc, and the format was the Soloshot format. It's not like we used the card for any other camera application in the meantime, so that shouldn't have been a problem. But like I said before, it is a good habit to format the card before you use it every time, unless you have clips on there that you haven't uploaded yet. All right, let's organize this. We have 2 clips here. That's good news. Hey, there we go.
Wow.
Tracking and recording.
Smooth.
Yeah. That's the first thing I noticed. Is very smooth. Nice, good zoom out as we came to do our little pre-interview. And here we go. Probably put this in fast forward so you guys can see. All right, I just started paddling, I think, you know. So far, so good. You know, if it looks jumpy, that's, well, I'll go back here. Let's see. If it looks jumpy, that's just because I have it on fast forward. So this would be the normal tracking. If you saw that little bit of a bounce, that's because it was pretty windy out there, but it wasn't bad at all. Nice shitty wave, tracking smooth. Seemed to be zooming out a little bit too as I got closer, so that's what we expect to see. That's great.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's find another clip.
This is amazing, man.
I know, I'm like really stoked on this.
It's working.
I know, it's fucking working.
Soloshot solved this problem
Finally.
by sending you a replacement. That's how they solved it.
That's how you solve the problem, right? All right, here we go. Another wave. Tracking nicely. You know, I wish we had more to work with here, but so far so good. You can see I kind of jumped back that way, and you know, it figured that maybe I was going to start going right, so it did start tracking. But as soon as the camera realized that I wasn't actually riding right, I was wiping out, it did stop, and then it found me. Whereas I don't know if you guys remember in the past, sometimes the camera would pan super far after you wiped out, and then it would have to like the Eye of Sauron, have to like try to find you again, you know. But that one, it stopped pretty quickly, and I didn't actually even go out of frame, so that's good.
I feel like the quality got better a little bit.
Yeah,
Camera.
maybe. I mean,
slightly better.
the lighting is pretty bad right now, and it was windy, so hard to tell for sure. And I have this on the regular 1080p setting, so I don't know, you know, what else maybe I could have done to make that better.
Oh, nice spin.
Yeah. Doing my best with what was out there. But, okay, I'm going to go to, like, where I was a little bit down. Yeah, here we go. Let's see, because this would have had to track me downfield a bit, you know. Nice wipe out.
Works.
Good
Works.
job, Mike.
I mean, I'm stoked. I think I'm gonna buy
There
one.
we go. So
There you go.
tracking downfield, which is good. Let's see what our last wave looks like. I think this one I got a little more distance, so that's real smooth right there.
So smooth.
And again, it's tracking away from, you know, where it's set up, which is good because that shows that it has good movement.
I think it's a success.
I think it's a success. I'm pretty stoked. I think the long and short of it is that if you're waiting for one, in my opinion, it's worth the wait. For those of you who are having a hard time getting a hold of Soloshot or have ordered your product a while ago and still not here, well, after talking with their team, I can tell you the following. Number one, it seems like with all of global supply chain issues right now, they were also subject to that, and they were due to receive a bunch of units at once in December, and due to supply chain issues, they got them later, and they've only been getting them in batches. So as soon as they're getting them in batches, they're testing them to make sure that they're good before they send them out, and then they're sending them out in order in which they were received. Also, they are just a few-man team. You know, this is not like talking to Nikon or GoPro. So when you're waiting on an email back or this or that, like they don't have live chat, they don't have technical support hotline 24/7. You know, you're talking to real people, and so as such, it can take a while for them to you know, get your issue resolved. But most of the time, I find that they'll answer within 2 days tops. So as far as waiting, for me, it was worth the wait. I've been waiting actually since the Soloshot 3 came out. I've always wanted them to have a better product. And I believe in this product too, because I've said that since day one, is that I think that Soloshot has the potential to be the best recording tool for surfers. Drones are cool, but the kind of footage you get there is not the standard, frame that you're looking for when you're doing clips reviews and stuff like that. And the most important thing with drones, right, is that you need to have a drone pilot doing it for you. So that's not easy or even practical for every session. A GoPro is great, and I like to use my GoPro a lot, but the problem with the GoPro is that it's only giving you that, first-person point of view, which is really cool for some sort of shots, but as many of you probably know, for those of you who aren't great surfers or even professional surfers, a lot of times it just looks like you thrashing around or heavy breathing or nothing too captivating, right? And so what you really want to see is this sort of frame, and you don't want to have to hire a photographer. You want it to be able to work fast. You want it to be able to work well and be reliable. And so far I've been finding that this model that they just sent me has been every one of those things. I love using Soloshot for a few reasons. One is to actually learn from. I'll watch my clips and I'll think, coming home, I'll be like, oh my God, I got like the sickest wave. I think I got a little tube there. And then I look at the clip and I'm like, my face is barely like touching the lip of the wave, and I'm like so far from the barrel. But then other times I look at the clip and I'm like, oh damn, like that was a really good turn, and I can learn from both of those experiences. Even if I got no good clips, it was nice to see how it went down, and I really enjoy like sharing with others and making the memories too. So for my purposes, it's so worth it. For any of you out there who are still thinking about getting it, just wait and see. I'm going to be posting a lot more clips. We're getting some waves coming up, and I'm hoping to get some good ones. So thank you, Soloshot. Glad it works.
Like, subscribe, guys, and follow Mike Reinhardt. What's your Instagram account?
Mike Reinhardt.
Yeah, Mike Reinhardt.
Yeah, you can find it pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Mike, thank you so much for the test, and
you gotta get your own now. You gotta get your own so you're not borrowing mine.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna buy one.
Cool.
For sure. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your continued support. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.